Hello. This is the afternoon shift. It is Tuesday, October 28th. I'm Adam Llorens.
I'm Max Fuller, a.k.a. Let's stick with the Halloween theme this week. I'm going to go with Maxwell Myers.
Okay.
You know about Michael Myers?
Yeah. He's Canadian, I think, right?
No, not Austin Powers.
Oh.
No, the Michael Myers, the horror movie character.
Oh, no, I'm very unfamiliar with that. No, I thought you were really talking about the actor.
I thought you were doing a bit.
No, I thought he was in like a Halloween movie.
Michael Myers is the name of the horror movie villain in the Halloween movie series.
No way. Yeah,
Austin Powers, great movie.
Never seen that. I know who Michael Myers
really?
is. No, I'm familiar with the. Familiar with the
Gold
concept.
Member.
Yes.
Gold Member. That's someone I gotta add that to my repertoire.
Right.
But it's Halloween themed.
Yes.
So AKA Frankenstein.
Okay, Frankenstein.
So you know about that one.
I do.
You had to read it.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had to read it in school.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people don't know that he's the doctor, actually. He's not the monster.
Right, correct.
The monster's just called the monster.
Correct.
Frankenstein is the doctor.
He's the doctor, yes.
Very misunderstood.
Yes.
AKA the Black Pennywise. You know what Pennywise, the clown, and it.
Over the head,
where it's like, are you a clown guy? Are you scared of clowns? Are you indifferent about clowns?
Yeah, I've never been a huge clown guy. They don't scare me, but it's just kind of like one of those things.
You're just like, you know what? You should probably stay away, but I'm not scared.
I'm not scared,
stay away.
But stay away from
I
it.
feel that. You know, I'm interested. I would love to talk to a clown because there's like a whole clown school. Like there's a clown education that goes behind it.
Maybe Paul Milgate and Grace Henry are watching. Oh, I know Grace is watching.
So you're saying Paul's a clown? Yes, I said clown, and you immediately said Paul Milgate.
Grace saved me.
And Grace Henry.
That's not what I said.
I mean, you said Paul Milgate first, so that's got to be a little comfort, right, Grace?
That is not what I said.
A little bit. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Barely.
Yes. It's not what I said.
That's okay.
It's not what I said.
Hey, man, it's like word association. You know, when the doctor shows you the thing, and
that'd be a good segment. It would be a great segment. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'm sure there's lots of. I mean, Minnesota's home to many a type of person, so I'm sure there's some good clown schools out there.
This is great for my reputation.
I know that there is a world-class clown camp held here in Minnesota. I don't know if it's every year, but I know like last year, clowns from all over the world flew in and attended this world-renowned clown camp. So, Adam, maybe that's something for you to do this summer.
Yeah.
Clown camp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you a clown girly, Grace?
They don't freak me out that much. I mean, it's fine. Like the movie It is fine, and I don't know. Clowns don't get me as much as other people, but I can understand why they're a little scary.
Yeah.
I feel that. I totally understand that. I'm not scared of them. I'm indifferent, but I'm fascinated by the history of clowns. I was voted class clown.
You were voted class clown.
Yeah. So I was surprised, shock. I know. I'm like, what the? I was so surprised. I was like, why?
Yeah.
I'm studious.
Yeah.
Scholarly.
Yeah.
How could this be?
Yeah.
Maybe that was the joke.
Right.
Because I'm not.
Right.
I'm not that kind of guy at all.
Right.
So.
Now, that's Fax Muller.
That's Fax Muller. He's
clown.
a goofy guy.
That's right.
Yeah, cartoon character sometimes even.
Yes.
But I'm not me.
Yeah.
I'm studious.
I'm surprised. We're the Hocus Pocus. I like that movie, Hocus Pocus. Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've seen some Halloween
I like
movies.
that movie.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. That's right. Yeah. I put a spell on you. You know that song.
It's a great song. Yeah. I've never seen Hocus Pocus actually.
What?
No, I didn't watch the Disney Channel. See, that's lately you've been getting me on the.
That's a Disney Channel movie that has transcended generations.
Oh, absolutely! It's still going.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yes.
It's like it's part of the Halloween canon.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe I'll watch Thursday night.
Okay.
You know, maybe.
Yeah. Get in the spirit.
Get in the spirit.
Yeah. Do you have a costume yet?
No.
You're not gonna.
No.
Nothing. No.
Nah. I think I'm going to go to bed early, probably.
Yeah.
On Thursday. I don't know. Friday, hopefully there's no baseball game Friday. So
right.
I can go to bed
you could go
early
to Shohei Ohtani.
Sure.
You gotta, put on a jersey or something like that.
Yeah.
Grow a couple inches.
Yes.
I mean, you guys are probably the same height, right?
He's a tall dude. I don't know. He might be like 6'4". Yeah, he's probably around the same height. Yeah. He's got a lot more than I've got going on right now.
I don't know. I'm sure you had a mean swing back in your day when you were playing baseball.
Yeah.
You seemed like you were above the Mendoza line.
I was above the Mendoza. I was a fine baseball player, but
what positions did you play?
I was a shortstop.
Okay,
but not like anything we saw last night. No.
Oh,
yeah. No.
I mean, last night's game was just incredible, and we're going to talk to Pierre Noujaim about it later. But man, that was one of the greatest sporting events I've ever seen.
It was. In case you missed it last night, the Dodgers beat the Blue Jays in 18 innings, a game that lasted 6 hours and 30 minutes just about. 2 full games that were played last night.
Yeah.
Ended with a a walk-off home run by Freddie Freeman. So many unsung heroes in the game. So many guys. Will Klein, Edgardo Enriquez. I mean, just these guys. They're not household names, and they probably never will be.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he didn't even get in the game. He's still an unsung hero.
Yeah.
Because he was willing to get in the game 2 days after he pitched a complete game.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
It is crazy. So we are going to get into that. There's a lot to get into in today's show. We're going to be talking. We're 1 week from Election Day.
Hey.
I know you're all buttoned up with everybody to vote for in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. I already got my ranked choice just on my wall. Multiple walls, just in case I forget. And then even when it steams up, the bathroom steams up when you take a shower. I wrote it in the mirror just in case I don't forget. So I'm all ready to go. But some of my rankings are different on different walls. So I got to get my stuff together.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk more about ranked choice voting tomorrow with So Young. But like, if you have just a candidate that you like, why not just vote for that candidate, right? Like, you can just do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when she breaks it down for us, I'm going to ask her, can you just write the same guy, like,
right?
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Yeah,
but maybe.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah. So we're going to get into all that tomorrow. We are going to be talking to an election judge from Hopkins, Minnesota today. So just talking about the process and all of that. Ian Leonard's going to come back on. We're going to talk Hurricane Melissa. It's really sad, tormenting the Bahamas and that Cuba and that whole area, Jamaica, that whole
Caribbean area.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to that. Northstar Promise. It's a college tuition program here in Minnesota. It seems it's going to be really interesting conversation with the director of it. We mentioned Pierre Nattie Neidhart. This is a wrestler that you're very familiar with.
Absolutely. She's a legend in the game. She's been wrestling for 2 decades, if not damn near 2 decades, but really all her life. I mean, she's a third-generation wrestler, part of the legendary Hart family coming out of Canada. Some of our viewers out there might be familiar with Bret Hart. She's Bret Hart's niece, but she's a legend in her own right. I mean, paving the way for lots of women in the WWE, and also a reality television star as well, from Total Divas, and now a author coming here to talk about her new book.
That's right. And we're going to be visiting a haunted house in a beautiful city called Painesville, about an hour and a half north of here. Before we get to the election judge, the top story of the day, this Carson Wentz saga. Max, why don't you break it down, like what we learned yesterday and your reactions to it?
Yeah, well, we learned that Carson Wentz is going to have season-ending shoulder surgery. Say that 5 times fast. Season-ending shoulder surgery. They said that he's been knowing that he's going to have this surgery. I think he has a torn labrum, among probably other injuries as well. But they said he has a torn labrum, and he's been knowing that he's had this pretty much, since the first week he got in the game, basically. A guy became the starter when JJ went down. And they said you're going to have surgery at some point, but you can play through it in the meantime. And Carson Wentz chose to gut it out for 2.5 games with a torn shoulder. And we saw, if you were watching that game on Thursday night, you could see how much pain he was in. I don't know if I've ever seen a football player on camera visibly that in pain as much as I did Carson Wentz against the Chargers on Thursday night. So there's a lot of consternation in Vikings Nation right now. People may be upset with the way that Kevin O'Connell, perceiving the way that Kevin O'Connell handled this situation, because Carson Wentz possibly, obviously the team knew that he was hurt, still chose to trot him out there, and then obviously didn't get the best results. So some people are mad about it. I would assume that the Vikings staff didn't do anything, any malpractice or anything like that, but definitely raises some questions and concerns about a bevy of things among, how does the team feel about Max Brosmer? Why did they choose to keep trotting Carson Wentz out there? But above all else, I think it just says that Carson Wentz is an absolute dog, man. Yeah. Willing to play through all that stuff, regardless of his performance, which obviously wasn't ideal for any Vikings fan or player out there. But he's a dog, man, to be able to play through all that stuff. And we've seen him. He did it with the Eagles right before he went out on their Super Bowl run. I believe it was with the number 1 seed on the line. He went out there, threw a go-ahead touchdown with a torn ACL, MCL, among other things. So this has been true throughout his career. And it was a guy that probably saw that, hey, this is my last opportunity to start. I'm going to go out there and give it my all for my childhood team. So you got to give him props for that. But lots of questions amongst Vikings fans for Kevin O'Connell and then the whole Vikings QB carousel.
And we'll have all week to talk about the huge Vikings game that's coming up this Sunday at Detroit. It feels a little bit like a do or die. We said that the last 2 weeks now. So you gotta this feels like kind of the
for
one.
sure. You got a lot more doing and a lot more dying.
That's
right.
on just in time for Halloween.
Hey,
perfect.
right, exactly.
Yes. So we'll look forward to more Vikings talk this week. All right, coming up next, Catherine O'Neill. She is an election judge in the city of Hopkins, telling us more about how Election Day works and the process of all it, and making sure these ballot boxes aren't getting stuffed and all of that kind of
for sure. I'm very curious. I'm going to be honest. I don't know entirely what an election judge does. But I know that they're integral to the whole process, and I'm curious to learn more.
Yep, Catherine O'Neill coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the afternoon shift, Max. We were talking about earlier. It's 1 week until Election Day today.
I cannot wait. I mean, honestly, it's just
you can't wait.
I can't wait. No, I got a countdown on my phone. I got a countdown on my TV.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even going to pay my electrical bill because I don't even want any distraction.
Forget the World Series.
No, I hope it's done. I hope it's long gone, so I don't have to think about it.
I do too. Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yes.
But I'm so locked in. I'm so locked in. I'm simulating it every day.
Yeah. Well,
I'm showing up to my polling place.
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, it's still a week away.
Right.
Like, go away.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm that locked in. I'm seated.
Well, I think you've met your match here with Catherine O'Neill. She's an election judge for the beautiful city of Hopkins, Minnesota.
Yes.
Judge O'Neill, welcome to the afternoon shift.
Well, thank you. It's a delight to be here and talk about one of my favorite topics, voting.
Wow.
Yes.
What do you love the most about the process of voting? Clearly, you must love it if you're an election judge. Yeah.
I do. Well, many things that I like about being an election judge, especially when the newest voters, either because they became one of our newest citizens or they now are 18 and they can vote and they show up and they are so excited to vote and cast their ballot, and they put on their I voted sticker, and then they're like, can you take a picture of us? And, yeah. So that's the favorite part of it, is seeing the enthusiasm of our newest voters. Yeah.
I remember being like that the first time I voted. Were you that enthusiastic? I really was. I had a whole outfit ready to go. Me and my dog, we had like a full photo shoot and everything. Like we were so pumped. For people out there, not me, because I know exactly what election judges do. Totally, 100%. But for people out there that don't, what do election judges do?
Well, there's basically 4 things that we do, okay, that are our responsibilities. Obviously, setting up the polling location so that when the voters show up on election day at 7 o'clock, we're ready to go. Everything is set up, the signs are up, the poll books are set up so that the voter, because they queue up before 7 o'clock. We've got a line, and so we have to be ready at 7 o'clock. They're ready to go. So we have to, main thing is making sure everything is ready so that when we open, polls are open, we're ready to go. Okay? Assisting the voters, be it with making sure that they're in the right precinct, they're at the right voting location, getting them registered to vote, getting them a ballot. Do they need assistance? Because there's the ballot marking machines. So if they have some sort of ability issue, there is a way for them to vote. And then making sure that everyone has a positive, neutral, safe, and fun voting experience. So that's the main, in a nutshell, what the election judges do. After that, it's doing our yearly training that we do both online and in person, and making sure that if a voter has a question, we can answer that question, that we don't say, oh, we can't do that. It's like, what can we do to make your voting easier or make it so that you can vote? One of the biggest issues is when people come in to register, not having their documents ready, or forgetting their photo ID. And so, helping them through that process. Can you pull it up on your phone, or can someone bring it to you? Or, you know what, you can go home and come back. So it's all about making it easier for them, not saying, oh, you can't vote,
I know one big point of contention in recent elections has been voter fraud and stuffing ballot boxes and all of that. And I know that stuff that you do. I know you're shaking your head. How do you? What are your thoughts on all this? As somebody that's on the front lines that sees this every year, every first Tuesday in November.
One, it's impossible. It really is. For example, anytime a ballot is handled, okay, or a voter needs assistance, there are 2 judges that are there, and one from each major political party, okay? So that nothing's done secretly, or everything is on view, and there's 2 people there witnessing everything, okay? Ballot stuffing, I don't know how someone could do that, because as you know, you put your ballot into the ballot counter, it goes into secure receptacle in the back of the ballot box. And at the end of the night, again, 2 judges from 2 different parties take those paper ballots out of the ballot box, put them in the box, and we all do it in the middle of the floor so everyone can see. Everything's out there. And then once they're in the box, they are sealed, and all the judges sign that seal. So I don't know about anywhere else, but there's not a way to do that, and that's that way throughout the state of Minnesota. Yeah, it's very on view, and very there are rules in place that we have to follow. The Secretary of State says this is how things have to be done, and so we follow that. Yeah.
Now, when Catherine says it's impossible, don't take that as a challenge out there, anybody. Do not take this as not the Louvre. Don't try to pull off any type of election fraud, heist, or anything like that.
Well, and then too, in Hennepin County, we have we have the poll books. Okay, so when a voter comes up to an election judge at the poll book, we can pull up all of their information, all right? If they've already voted by absentee ballot, that will be on there, so they cannot vote again, okay? So there's all those checks and balances in place already. So yeah, I don't.
I hear you.
100%. How has your role evolved over time with like kind of like the rising prevalence of like you said, the kind of absentee ballots, early voting, and just like the methods of voting changing over time?
Oh, I think that's great because it works better with people's schedules. Okay, and let me back up. When I was in the service and I was stationed overseas, that's how you voted, was mail-in voting, right? You sent it through the APO box and and it got to your polling place. And so I've done, mail-in voting since I was in the military. Yeah, and that's how we had to do it. And what's interesting, one thing I always tell people is be prepared when you go to your polling location. Make sure you know your polling location, your precinct, and know your candidates and what's on your ballot. When I remember when I was in the service, before the age of the internet, and so we didn't have all that access, and you really had to get clippings from family that was stateside. Or what is the BBC saying, and stuff like that. And now you have so many ways to find information that it's very easy to find out what is going to be on your ballot, who are the candidates, what are the issues, and a huge shout out to the League of Women Voters. They do a great job with conducting forums where candidates come in and they're open to the public, they're free, and so you can hear the candidates answer questions, you can ask questions, and you can meet the candidates afterwards. So I think, it is, it's great. There's so many ways to, and then on the Secretary of State website, when you see your sample ballot, they'll list the candidates, and if they have a website, that'll be right next to their name, so you can check them out there as well. Yeah.
You mentioned your military experience. Where did you serve? What branch of the military were you in?
I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And I was stationed in England.
Oh, wow.
That was my whole, I know, but a lot of people say that they got bounced around to different bases and different tours. I was lucky. I got to be one place for my entire tour. And in my entire time in the Air Force.
Did that time in the Air Force, did that really inspire a sense of, dedication of wanting to kind of give back furthermore to the country, even after your military days are over, that kind of led you to this being a...
Yes, to some degree. And that's part of the reason why I went into the military was, this sounds, but the love of the country.
No, I hear you.
And I've always had that sense of giving back.
Yeah.
And I think it just got more reinforced. That's a better way of saying it. A couple years ago, I went to Dean Phillips and his ice house on Lake Minnetonka. Oh, wow. It was great. It was great. And after being at the ice house and talking to Representative Dean Phillips, I'm like, you know what? I want to get more involved. And that's when I made the decision to become an election judge. And it's been great because I started out just as a regular election judge, and now I'm a head election judge, and then training others to be an election judge and passing that torch on. So I always say, if you want to give back, you want to be involved, become an election judge. We really do need younger and more diverse voices. Yeah. We're all getting really old. So, just check with your city clerk. See what their needs are. Tell them that you want to be an election judge. Yeah.
Obviously, we can hear and see your love for the red, white, and blue. But I mean, everybody loves that green as well. So like, what are election judges getting paid? Like, what are some benefits out? Because I know some people out there might be thinking about it, but like, I don't know. I don't got that time. Do election judges get paid?
Well, here's the thing. I'll go first with the time. Yes, it's a full day. It's a long day, but you don't have to commit to the full day. You can do a half day. You could do the morning, or you could do the afternoon, evening. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm tied up.
This is just one day you're talking about, though, right?
Yeah. Because I know the other head election judge and I were there at 6:30 in the morning, and we don't get done till 9:30 at night. Yeah, it's a long day. So, but you can, you as an election judge don't have to do that whole time. You could just, unless you want to, but you could, do a morning or afternoon. As far as pay, you get some compensation from it, or you can say no. I'm gonna waive that and not incur that cost to the city. So it's your call.
It's 2025. It's not a presidential election year.
Right.
There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna skip voting this Tuesday.
I hope not.
Well, what's your message to those that are just kind of like, it's not for the president, or there's no senators? It's not any of the sort of the marquee sort. It's all kind of the undercards. What's your message to them?
I know. I hear that a lot. And you know what? There's 52,000 elections next Tuesday across the nation. A lot of those are your municipal elections. And your municipal elections are so important because you're going to decide your school board, right? Your mayor, your city council, and all of that is going to determine your taxes, your zoning of your city, your police and fire staff. I mean, they're very consequential elections, and I think people need to take them more seriously and not just show up for the big ones. And support your city, support your county.
Well said.
Support your fellow man, your fellow Americans.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, Catherine. Like, how if someone wants to become an election judge, like, what would be the first step?
I would contact your city clerk for. In Hopkins, it's our city clerk is Amy Dahlmeyer, who's amazing. Her and her team do a great job with supporting us and training and the emergency call. We need more ballots. All of those things. So first, I would check with your city clerk, see what their needs are. Put your name in there. Let him or her know that you're available. You can also sign up on the Secretary of State website. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to get the word out there that you're available and interested. And the training is great. It's very comprehensive, supportive, and I know my team is fantastic. I'm biased. So I would welcome anyone that wants to become an election judge.
The enthusiasm in your voice, Catherine, for this whole process it's infectious. Thank you so much for your time. Catherine O'Neill, an election judge in beautiful city of Hopkins, Minnesota. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We've got Ian Leonard coming back on today. So
I know, from one ray of sunshine to another.
That's right. From one ray of sunshine to another. Talking about Hurricane Melissa and the impact that it's having in the Caribbean right now. So yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously not we like to have Ian on and have fun, but obviously not the most jovial subject.
That's right. Ian Leonard coming up next. Don't go anywhere. back to the afternoon shift. Max, we got Ian Leonard back in the house, chief meteorologist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By popular demand.
By popular demand.
Yeah, the text line lit up, and by that I mean we got one text. But they were very complimentary.
And it was my wife.
Yeah.
Could you keep
and
my
I
husband
Venmoed her that
busy?
$10 you asked me to Venmo her afterwards as well.
Two appearances back-to-back weeks. This is a first.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. That they told me to say that. No, I love you. You know what? This is so different than my world.
Yeah.
It's the same but completely different.
Yeah.
Like it's like radio but different.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a weird tween,
Yeah.
but it's really enjoyable. It allows me to just be. I gotta be me. I gotta be me.
We love singing on the afternoon shift, Max, right?
Yeah, Ian's got a better voice than you do.
What?
Yeah. I would listen to an album of Ian's. Yeah, for sure. You dropping an album soon?
Yeah, it drops pretty soon. Yeah.
Reggae? Yeah.
Ian's reggae hits and Vegas show tunes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
I would love that.
That's
I would
gonna be
love
great.
that. I know that there's a hurricane going on right now in the Caribbean. Hurricane Melissa. What can you tell us about this?
If you were, I think a lot of the weather nerds sort of unite around these big catastrophic events.
Yeah.
But when it's this big, it tends to take over most folks' news feed. Yesterday people were watching it. Everyone saw the satellite data, that perfectly defined eye. I think it's rather ominous for most folks here to look at something like that. That eye is about 5 to 7 miles wide. The hurricane force winds extend out 30 miles either side. So you look at around a 70-mile diameter of winds at around 185 miles an hour. So think about the biggest, baddest, most awful tornado in the world, and it's 70 miles wide. And it doesn't move as fast as a tornado. You get the front side and the back side as it comes through. I realize this is the video from the hurricane hunters. In the past 2 days, 2 Hurricane Hunter aircraft have actually had to turn around. Now, these are specially reinforced Orion P3s. These are the cat's pajamas of like this kind of a plane.
Yeah.
The storm was too rambunctious is the best way to say that. So these planes actually had to turn around. They dropped radio signs. And people say, what are they doing there? A radio sign is like a tube, and it's full of like a transmitter. And it's able to measure wind speed and temperature and humidity as it's falling through the storm. The one this morning, right before landfall, measured surface winds at around 185 miles per hour. Winds 1,000 feet up from the surface were 255 miles per hour. That's important because you look at Jamaica and how mountainous it is. Yeah. Most of the mountains are between 2,000 and 5,000 feet. So 250 mile per hour winds. It made landfall about 2 hours ago. It goes down in history now as the strongest Atlantic basin hurricane on record.
Wow.
My goodness.
It actually ties one about 90 years ago called the Keys hurricane. But think about 90 years ago, we didn't quite have the instrumentation to measure the way we do. So, minimum pressure at around 892 millibars. The nerds will know what I'm talking about. And those winds, 175 to 185. Some of the video you see coming out, it's just like, I was interviewing Robert Ray from Fox Weather last night, and I said, Robert, you've had a chance to go around the island. Anybody who's been to Jamaica knows that, the resorts are spectacular. The island of itself, there's not a lot of infrastructure. There never has been. Kingston has 1 million people. And it's basically a natural harbor and port right on the side of 2 massive mountains. I can't even imagine what's going to happen when we start to factor in 20 to 30 inches of rain. It's, this is one of those times, and I think everyone, it's like news people will say, this poor little island nation's not going to look the same when the storm's pass. It's true.
Yeah,
it's absolutely true. And as a meteorologist, you get a little turn in your tummy. It just feels weird.
And Jamaica's not the only thing that's in Melissa's path. Right?
No. So right now, it's funny. I've been looking, not funny, but it's bizarre when you look at over the last hour, as the eye wall came ashore, those videos we've been seeing, the perfectly concentric circle. Right now, it's about to go right in between Discovery Bay and Montego Bay on the north side of the island. The eye wall has dissipated. That friction with land has really sort of knocked it down. Winds are still 165 miles per hour. It just doesn't look as like wow when you see it on satellite. Then it emerges back into the Caribbean. That warm water should churn up the eye again, hits parts of eastern Cuba. another place where there's no infrastructure. From eastern Cuba, we talk about the Turks and Caicos. From the Turks and Caicos, we talk about the mid area of the entire Bahamas chain. From the Bahamas chain onward to Bermuda. So this is a long-lived storm, no landfall for the United States. And so I think a lot of people would just kind of do the whew. Yeah. But as you say whew, you also have to look around and say, oh my God, those poor people. The poor people who are getting this thing.
Where does like Melissa? I know Katrina's one that really stood out for so many people in the United. Where does Melissa is this like that? How much more bigger is this than like a storm like Katrina?
Katrina was massive in terms of size. Yeah. It was a very big storm, and what made Katrina famous were the levees failing in New Orleans. Like Pontchartrain basically flooded all of the city once the levees started to go. It was. This morning at around 4 a.m., Melissa became more powerful than Katrina. And it's not linear. You know, people always talk about like how if you fall out of a boat going 30 miles an hour, it's nothing like when you fall out of a boat going 40. It's not 10 miles faster. It's the kinetic energy of you and the wind and hitting the waves. Same thing is true every time we drop a millibar of pressure. People don't go, oh, it just went down a bit. It's all exponential. You know, so in terms of like bomb size, this is a much, 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 much bigger quote unquote bomb than Katrina could ever imagine to be.
And is this kind of becoming more typical for hurricanes, or how does a hurricane even? Maybe this is a dumb question. How does it get to this record-setting level of intensity?
It has to spend an awful lot of time in perfect atmospheric conditions, one of which is spending time over some very, very warm ocean water. We need to eliminate the upper-level flow of the subtropical jet stream. We need to eliminate any interaction of any storms that are pouring out of the United States. You know, these storms that come down across us and we go, wow, that's cold. And they get to Texas and they go, wow, that's cold. And then it washes its way across the Gulf. Any storm like that is going to steer most of these storms away and rip the tops off. You rip the top off a hurricane, the hurricane goes away. So there's a lot of perfect atmospheric conditions that need to be matched. This is our third Cat 5 so far this year. So we're tying a record right there. I just think that it's easier to forget or not think about some of these storms when they're not hitting America. And I think that's the big thing there. We have to kind of broaden our horizons whenever we talk about hurricanes. It's not just about, you know, the coastal version of the Gulf. It's not just about the East Coast from, you know, Florida all the way up to the Carolinas. This is going to be a humanity disaster of epic proportions.
Yeah. You ever covered a hurricane yourself in your year? Yeah.
I was in Dennis years ago. It's so hard to explain. I said to you guys off the air, when the rain hits your hand, it's not like, wow, it's raining hard. You say, that hurts. It physically hurts. The rain and the wind, you know, the kinetic energy of the wind. It's absolutely incredible when you think about what, you know, people will say, well, this is a hurricane-proof house. Me, I go, yeah, I mean, they may have told you that. So it's reinforced concrete, but all it takes is a little chink. It's like you put on the best knight's armor that was ever made. Yeah. It doesn't make you impenetrable. Nope. And that's the same with these houses. The kinetic energy of wind and water, just a little tiny thing that didn't quite get sealed properly, and suddenly the hurricane-proof area isn't. It's a scary... This type of storm on this type of scale is catastrophic in so many ways. And I think what happens is the storms hit, and in the news cycle, we're like, wow, we got to cover it, and we're doing this, and look at this, and look at this. And in 2 weeks, it'll sort of drop off. It's like what happened with the Carolinas with all that, the flooding. And there are places in the Carolinas that still don't have fresh water, don't have a freshwater supply. Well, think about not being able to go to the tap and get yourself a glass of water or have ice cubes or make soup. Like, these are like really basic things. It's going to be really awful once the light of day tomorrow for Jamaica and beyond.
Absolutely. Could you touch a little bit more on that? Like, what does the rebuilding process and after, like, the immediate aftermath in these areas?
The hardest part is when you talk about storm surge or flooding, it displaces the landscape, right? So if you have a shed and let's say a strong wind comes next Saturday, and you have a garden shed and your lawnmower's in there and a few things. It's one of those metal sheds, and the wind hits it and it bends and it's gone. You're like, I'll go to insert big box name here, and I'll buy a new shed. It's going to cost you a few $100s. It's a pain in the butt. When flooding and displacement of landscape happens, your house and your front yard and your neighbor's yard and where the road was and where the sewer was and where everything was isn't not just available to see. It's not there, nor will it be there until it's rebuilt. So how do you move thousands and thousands of cubic yards of earth back to whence it came? Think about when you see somebody building a big apartment building. There's one going up in downtown Chanhassen right now. It seems like they've been digging the pit for 6 months. And this is the biggest, baddest tools in the richest country in the world. And it's 6 months to dig this big pit to build this apartment building. It just doesn't happen quickly. And it's really, really expensive. And this is an island nation where most of the tools that you would use, the builders, the graders, the plows, the cranes, they're going to be a part of the disaster. So it's almost impossible to make them a part of the disaster recovery. It's an unending cycle, and it's, you start to think, how can we get stuff down there? Well, it needed to be on a ship yesterday, and those ships needed to already be moving. Helicopters, sure, but where are we moving it in from? This is on the other side of Cuba.
Where do these people go? Like we talked to New Orleans.
There's a lot of shanty towns in Jamaica. Kingston's 1 million. There's about 3.5 million people who live on the island itself. I don't know where food and water comes from.
Right.
And I'm not being alarmist. I really don't know.
Right. Because even in New Orleans, people went to Texas. People were able to go to other places in the United States.
Like staying at the stadium.
Right.
It's like
if you're in Jamaica, where do you go?
Think about a big tornado that comes through. Just say it goes through a town or a city in Minnesota. Probably an hour drive from that town or city for you are major big box retailers where you can get anything you want, including food. Once you have something like this on a small island nation, middle of the ocean, other side of Cuba from the United States, you're not driving to, the grocery store. Because the grocery store might not even be there.
Right.
That's the hard part. And so I think it's trying to figure out how to get the help down there and get it effectively. There's always people who are going to rip you off. Online you're going to donate $100 and it goes into the, into the netherworld, never to be seen again.
Some rich dude's pocket.
Right. I don't know how we do it. I don't know how we help.
But it's going to be a long process.
It's really tough. It's really hard to watch.
Bringing awareness to this disaster, Hurricane Melissa. We appreciate you, Ian, and hopefully next time we get you in here, it's more optimistic and upbeat, and our thoughts go out to all the people.
I brought the room down. I totally get it, but I think this is a real thing. It's not. I know it's happening, way far away from it, but this is real. And there's going to be fatalities. And a shift in the landscape there that will be visible in terms of the landscape scars for 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. We still have tornado scars here through Theodore Wirth Park. I've flown a helicopter over the scar. It's still there where all the trees went down. I can't imagine what it's going to be like.
Hopefully maybe tomorrow or something we can figure out a good place where people can donate or help out some of our fellow men and women down there. So
thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Not a fun topic. But life isn't always fun. You know what I always end whenever I talk to big groups and crowds and do keynotes for charity. I always say the same thing.
Stay black.
There's that. I always say the same thing. What will you do for somebody else today?
Yeah.
It's how I've lived my life. And there's a movie out that won the short animated Oscar last year. It's called I'll get it wrong, The Boy, the Fox, the Horse, and the Mole. And the horse asks the boy toward the end of the movie, he says, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the boy thinks about it. And he says, kind. I mean, yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely. And if we can find a way to be more kind, I think it's a better world. Maybe we start with trying to help, hurricane refugees and move from there. I don't even know.
Absolutely.
Well said, Ian. And we're going to keep everybody at home updated on Hurricane Melissa, and hopefully maybe we can figure out a way to a good way for people to donate time or money or resoures or whatnot.
However we can help. We're going to try to help for sure.
Yeah. Ian, thanks so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Now I got to go do my real job. How do I get out of here?
Yes. We appreciate you, Ian. Yes.
Can't wait for the album, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be good. At the Copa.
Right.
Copacabana. You can sing backup.
Okay. All right.
All the backup dancers have to wear muumuus.
Luckily, I already got a bunch.
Wait, what's a muumuu?
Where have you been, son?
Yeah, I don't know.
Your mother and I will talk about this for you.
Mom, if you're watching, please tell me what a muumuu. I know you're watching right now.
Think Mrs. Howell and you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Northstar Promise. It's a new program here in the state of Minnesota, helping make college more affordable to more people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of helping, Northstar Promise, they're doing it, man, and they got the results to back it up.
Yep. One of the directors, Keith Hovis, he'll join us next. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Max, we were reading about this story last week in the Star Tribune about the Northstar Promise program. Yeah,
absolutely. I've been hearing about it around the city for at least the last year or so, and it sounds like it's helping a lot of folks out with their college tuition.
Absolutely. We want to learn more about it, and so we have the Minnesota Office of Higher Education Director of Communications, Mr. Keith Hovis, with us in studio. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. There's so many people at home that don't know what the Northstar Promise program is. Can you tell them what exactly is this?
Yeah, so Northstar Promise, first year that we rolled it out was last year, the 24-25 school year, but it's a new financial aid program that for families who earn less than $80,000 a year and are attending a public institution in the state, this program helps cover the cost of their tuition and fees.
Yeah.
Awesome. How did this whole program get started?
Yeah, so we've been wanting to make college more affordable in the state, making a lot of investments in our students, and so the 23 legislature, it just happened. We had Senator Faute was a big champion of this, and we were able to make it kind of move it into action. And so they had the funds that we could invest in it, and so it became a part of our responsibilities with higher education. Yeah.
Have you already seen some really nice success stories? I know it's just in its second year, but maybe you have a couple anecdotal stories of students that you'd like to share here. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that in the first year, we know that over 53,000 students benefited.
Wow.
And so how this program works is that students have their tuition and fees, their cost, and all of the financial aid that they qualify for is applied, but then whatever is remaining is covered by Northstar Promise. So on average, students were getting awards of about $1,800 a semester, which, I mean, if you get out an award for both semesters, that's over $3,000 that you don't have to pay for your tuition. And we've heard a lot of stories, not only about people considering college for the first time because of this program, that it would help make it affordable. We've heard a lot from people who were able to go back and finish a degree that they had to stop. And I think that adult population is one that doesn't get talked a lot about in higher education. And there are so many people that, you know, they're attending college, they're doing everything right, and then they just hit a financial situation where they can't continue. And so to have all these stories of people being able to go back and finish their degree and start the career that they wanted to 5-10 years ago, but now they finally have the ability to do that.
Man, that's super awesome. What is like the application process like? Like, what are eligibility requirements? Is there like a cap on how many people can apply or be helped by this?
No. If you are eligible for the program, if you make less than $80,000 a year, and you are a Minnesota resident, so that means you live in the state, that you attended a Minnesota high school, you would apply through the FAFSA. So we rolled it into that larger federal application to make it really easy for students. Nice. So there's not like an additional application. But yeah, you would just fill out your FAFSA. And so in that case, you're getting assessed for all the different financial aid that you qualify for. Federal aid, state aid, and institutional aid. And so we tried to make it really easy like that.
Yeah, I'm about to go back to school, man.
You can get an advanced degree.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It is only for your first bachelor's degree. So if you already have a degree,
it's not for, you can't get like an MBA or something.
No. Yep. So for people kind of pursuing their first associates or bachelor's, those programs.
Yeah. How did you get to the $80,000 threshold? What led to that decision? Why not more or less maybe 90 or 70 or whatnot?
That decision came from a lot of research around kind of where is that need most, where was the need most at? And so obviously there are people who wanted to go higher than that. There are people who thought it should go lower, but that was kind of, we're looking at the funding that we had available. That made the most sense to help as many people as possible. So that way, whoever qualifies can get the funding they need.
Yeah.
Now this sounds like, sometimes these things sound like too good to be true, right? Is there like, tiny writing that says you owe like $1 bajillion, you got to give up a heart or kidney or something like that? What's the catch? Is it too good to be true? Is there a catch?
You know, it's funny. We've been on the road talking to students at campuses, and that's actually a comment we get. There's people are just like, I don't know if I could trust this, but it is true. I guess if you're looking for a caveat, it's that it's tuition and fees, and I think we all know that there are other costs associated with college. Right. You're going to have housing if you're living in the dorms. You're going to have food or books, and so this doesn't cover those costs. There are other financial aid available to help with those costs, but yeah, so I would say if you had to look for one caveat, that's what I would say. But no, it really works the way it says it does.
So just to kind of get all this straight. Let's say you're in Minnesota and you qualify for Northstar and you already get a 75% scholarship to U of M. That other 25% of the tuition, would Northstar still cover that if you do still qualify for that?
Yeah. So if you're eligible for the program, whatever is not covered by those other scholarships would be covered by Northstar.
Yeah. That's nice. That's how you kind of double dip there in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's next for the Northstar program? Like, how do you guys want to keep evolving?
I think that we want to keep spreading the word, so things like this are really helpful. We want as many people as possible to benefit who qualify for it. And I think that we have seen in the last few years a reversal of enrollment trends. So for 10 years, Minnesota is facing a decline in college enrollment. And last year, we saw huge increases. I think some of the private schools were doing double digits. I know that the U of M saw a huge increase for their incoming freshman class. Minnesota State last year saw a 7% increase, and we're seeing those increases again this year. And I think a lot of that is part of helping to invest in students and make sure that they have the money to not have to worry about their tuition. Yeah. And one thing that's cool too is that a lot of those private schools, so this program, Northstar Promise, is for students attending public colleges in the state, But we're seeing private universities step up and implement similar programs. So Concordia has their Concordia Promise, which is the same program but for their students, and Gustavus has the Gusty Guarantee. So we're kind of seeing this whole conversation around affordability and who needs assistance being front of mind in the higher education space. And so it's exciting to see so many more students benefit and be able to go attend the college that they want to attend.
Yeah. You're with the Minnesota Office of Higher Education.
I am.
How are things going? Like you have a positive outlook sort of on the horizon. What with in regards just to like Minnesota students and in the state, are test scores up? Are people kind of performing high?
Yeah, I think we're doing good. The increased enrollment is great. Getting more people into high need positions. We've been doing a lot of investments in like healthcare fields. Dual training, getting people into manufacturing and places like that. I think Minnesota is in a really great space to have a really incredible next generation workforce.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe this is a dumb question, but is like trade school and like nursing programs and stuff like that, does that like count under the program?
That all counts. Yep, and I think that's one thing that we hear often is people don't necessarily think about trade schools or apprenticeship programs as higher education, but any education you get after high school, we consider higher education, and our programs invest in those students as well. So if there's somebody who really a 4-year program doesn't make sense for them, but a 2-year program or a trade program or a certificate does, we'll invest in them, and we want to make sure they can pursue that dream as well.
And include my Normandale, my favorite
street. You can go live your Normandale dreams.
That's my favorite street in Minnesota, Normandale.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm Normandale Community College.
Yeah.
That's the
And a great school.
Yeah. Wait, that's your school?
No, I didn't go there, but I know Normandale. We've been there numerous visits, and they're a great institution.
Yeah.
I went to the U of M Twin Cities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same. You guys are both Gophers here. Yeah.
You know.
What did you make of the Iowa loss?
Oh no!
Shouldn't have brought that one up.
Yeah, can we get the Gophers
Speechless.
football program
Speechless.
some funding? Yeah, can you guys get some money for the Gophers football program? I mean,
You
my
turned really
goodness.
good speechless on me.
I'm gonna take the fifth.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, yeah,
Smart move.
yeah.
Smart move.
Keith Hovis, we appreciate
Yeah.
it. That was great. We
I appreciate
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having
so
me.
much. Thank you.
course.
Thank you. More to come. We're going to be talking a little World Series after this, and maybe some Minnesota United too.
Yeah, and you have an impartial view, of course. That just happened. That was
Yeah.
on your desk.
Yeah, it was on my desk.
Yeah, you didn't plan to wear that.
Right, the Seattle Sounders jersey was right next to us.
Exactly.
all right? With soccer and baseball coming up next.
The perfect combo.
Right. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Listen, if you were in the state of Minnesota and you're a baseball fan, you were up almost probably until 3 o'clock in the morning this morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no more platitudes or hyperbole that can be said about this game. Instant classic in the sports playoff canon. Forget just baseball. American team sports canon. That was an instant classic. 18 innings, 6.5 hours. Something like 40 possible runs that were left on the table.
Yeah.
Amazing performances from Shohei. Defensive prowess on display from both teams. I mean, what more can you say about yesterday's game?
And Will Klein as a hero.
The hero.
So, yes. We have our own hero in studio with us. It's Pierre Noujaim, FOX9 sports reporter. Pierre, did you, I heard you just started watching the game at the 14th inning. That was perfect timing.
I did, and when I spoke to producer Paul, who asked me to be on the show today, I said, "Sure you want me?" Because I was covering Minnesota United's playoff game last night. So I didn't get a chance to dip into the game until the 14th inning when I got home.
You're still into the game for like 3 or 4 hours at that point,
no,
basically.
Seriously,
yeah.
I was kind of checking on my phone, even at the start. I would say, "Where are we in the game?" And I saw it was 2-0 Dodgers. Then I saw it was 4-2 in favor of Toronto. Then I saw it was 4-4. So I was keeping up to date on what was going on in the game. When I got home at the 14th inning, it was kind of crazy for me because I had my attention split between that and there was a car chase, a high-speed chase happening in L.A.
Oh, wow.
That also had my attention. So I had my laptop on the high-speed chase and I had the game on the TV. But watching and really kind of watching it all unfold in my mind, especially when it got to the 18th inning, it was approaching 2 a.m. here Central Time, and I thought to myself, let's keep going. Why not? I don't care.
Right.
Let's keep listen.
I got nothing to do.
Most people have a normal job and have to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning to get to their job. I don't. I have the luxury of kind of waking up whenever I want on most days. But seriously, in my mind, I was like, let's go all night.
Yeah.
Why? Let's make this the most epic game of all time. Why not?
Well, it almost became the most epic game. In fact, the only other game that was longer, and it was only longer by length of game, but not by innings, was the 2018 World Series Game 3, also at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that's right.
Brad Paisley also sang the national anthem in that game. That also went 18 innings.
Was that the Astros? Was that 2018?
The Red Sox.
Red Sox.
The Red Sox.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, got it.
So it almost got to that point. I just think one of the most amazing things about this was just the emergence of some of the unlikely heroes. We talked about Ohtani, and Ohtani was great.
Yeah.
Reached base 9 times.
Yeah.
9
9 times.
4 for 4 before they stopped pitching to him
Correct.
completely.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So got to base 9 times. He was fantastic. But it was guys like Will Klein and Edgardo Henriquez and all these other sort of like names that you just don't sort of like emerge.
Clayton Kershaw. I mean, it's not
Clayton Kershaw.
I mean, it's weird to say Clayton Kershaw is an unsung hero, but
Right.
even with the bases
Bases
loaded,
loaded.
probably the most unfavorable situation in sports, and found a way to get out of the jam. It was so many different underrated performances from last night.
What I will say about last night too, I hope, and I know you probably don't want to hear this, but my hope is that it doesn't deflate the losing team. When you're on the losing end of that game, that can really take it out of you. And with all the players that Toronto used, they set a record, a World Series record for most players used in a game, in a World Series game. You hope that it doesn't take the juice out of the losing team because it takes a lot for you to get back up after you played. What was it, 6.5 hours? Is that how long it went?
6:37. Yeah.
I mean that takes a lot out of you, not just physically, but that really takes a mental toll on you to try to get yourself geared up to go for Game 4. And it's a game that really, when you think about it, you have to have, because if you go down 3-1 to the Dodgers,
and you got Snell pitching again.
Yeah, you have Snell pitching again. You have a real uphill battle on your hands. So Toronto, I'm hoping, I'm not necessarily rooting for one or the other. I know Adam's rooting for one in particular, but I don't want to lose steam from this series after a game like that. I still wanted to see it remain a competitive series, because remember when we talked last week, initially I thought my gut was saying Dodgers in 5, but I said no. I said no. Toronto's bats, like their offense is good enough to win 2 games in the series, in my opinion. I'm still sticking by Dodgers in 6. So I think a 6, hey, if it's a 7-game series, I know that might be high in your stress levels, but if it's a 7-game series, all the better for us, the casual fan.
Absolutely. Speaking of Toronto's bats, I got a question for both of you guys. Adam, I know you watched every single pitch yesterday. Do you think the Blue Jays were a little too aggressive yesterday?
I do. I definitely think they were a little too aggressive. You talk about the Clayton Kershaw appearance. I don't know if you saw that sequence with Kershaw coming in.
I watched the highlights later on.
He swung at ball 4 3 times.
Yeah, he did.
And that would have brought in not necessarily the winning run, but it would have brought in the go-ahead run for sure. And on top of that, not only aggression at the plate, I really thought that Dave Roberts really outmanaged and outclassed John Schneider last night. You talk about all the players he used. He went for kill shots very early on in those extra innings, thinking that he might be able to get the Dodgers in 11 or 12 innings. He pinch ran for Alejandro every single time in the top half of the inning. Saved Guerrero, who they were able to neutralize by most part. I think he got 2 singles. That was it. And so it wasn't like the stress on the Toronto pitchers was much higher in the bottom half of the innings than it was on the Dodger pitchers, I felt like.
Well, and this is why you have as many guys as you have on the roster.
Yes.
I mean, nobody can predict an 18-inning 5-5 game going well into the night. But at the same time, too, if you are on the active roster for a World Series game, you are expected to perform when called upon, whenever you are called upon. It doesn't matter if you're a reliever. I mean, if you play position, you are expected, an injury might occur. You know, you never know what might happen in terms of these games. They get a little crazy. You got to come in and perform. We talk about it with football players all the time. Next man up. They talk about it all the time with injuries. Next man up. It's the same kind of mentality in a situation like this because you have to really think extra strategically with mixing and matching your personnel. And I thought Toronto, that's the other funny thing when you bring it up that way. I hadn't really thought about it in that manner. You know, the Dodgers going up against, if you want to say, the B players for Toronto. But if Toronto was able to keep it going for as long as they could with those players instead of their regular guys, that I think that is what I'm talking about right now. If they were my team, I'm saying, guys, listen, you fought tooth and nail. We used everybody, and we were right there. The game was there to be had. When we're coming back refreshed tomorrow, we've got our normal guys ready to go. There's no reason to believe why we cannot win this game and even this series and perhaps go on to win this series. There's no reason not to believe it.
Yeah. Now you were locked in on the MLS game.
I was there. I was at Allianz Field last night, yes.
And I saw that it was 0-0. I thought it was a freaking playoffs. How is there a tie?
Yeah.
How is there 0-0 in the playoffs?
Yeah, so in the first round, there is no overtime period. They just go straight to penalty kicks. So we saw this last year when Minnesota United played Real Salt Lake in the first round. But yes, 0-0 was 0-0 full time. I have to be honest, I thought Seattle was the better team for the majority of the match. I thought they controlled the match a little bit better in most phases. They had the more dangerous opportunities. But, you know, Dane St. Clair has proven to be one of, if not the best goalkeeper in all of Major League Soccer. He's up for goalkeeper of the year. And you saw it last night in the penalty kick situation where he saved. I mean, listen, to stand your ground and say, I know if you didn't watch it, in a penalty kick situation, it takes guts for a shooter to shoot it straight down the middle. Yeah. For me, as somebody who's been around the game all my life, you pick the corner as a shooter. You pick the corners. If you strike it with enough pace at the corners, the goalie has no chance. Yeah. No chance. So to have the guts to shoot it straight down the middle, I'll give you credit for that. But to be a goalie and have the instinct to stand your ground in the middle and not want to dive one way or the other and be there to save a save, which he did on the second PK opportunity for Seattle, that impressed me greatly. And Dane St. Clair was a huge reason why they won that game yesterday. Actually, I'll go and say he was the reason why they won that game yesterday.
So when's the next match?
Game 2 is scheduled for Monday night in Seattle. If Minnesota United wins that game, they move on to round 2. If Seattle wins Game 2, we will have a Game 3 back at Allianz Field. That would be next Saturday, which I believe is November 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Saturday, November the 8th, would be Game 3.
Sweet. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. And is that for the MLS Cup? Or
this is the first round?
Oh, the first round. Okay.
The MLS, Major League Soccer, and don't ask me why they're doing this. Even the players themselves, they have told us repeatedly that they don't like it either. Last year, they changed the playoff format and to make the first round a best-of-3 series format, which is not done anywhere around the world. Sometimes you have these 2 matches, a playoff in Europe, like based on aggregate. The players don't like it. And after the first round has concluded, it goes to single elimination format.
That makes zero sense.
This league continues to shoot itself in the foot on a constant basis. Don't even get me started with the Apple TV contract and how they've absolutely killed their local audience with that. Yeah. But this league continuously finds reasons to be weird for no reason and reasons to not appeal, not just to soccer fans in the United States, but even the casual fan. You don't walk into a bar in summer, and especially in the summertime when you're on, here in Minnesota, obviously you're competing with, it's the weather's beautiful outside. You're competing with that here in Minnesota, which we don't get a lot of, and I understand that. But in terms of a sports, world, the Twins are the only game in town during the summer. Yeah. And you walk into a bar on a Saturday night when MLS games are usually played, Those games aren't on TV here locally.
No.
They're not on. No. They're not on. You're killing your any hope of growing the game, the fan base that already exists. You're killing it. I really don't understand the thought process and the decision making at the league level. I really don't.
Is it just one of those things where they're trying too hard to be different, trying to swerve when other people are?
It's weird. It's a good question because I've had a huge problem with Major League Soccer. It's the little things, right?
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Who what
Why?
you're not Spanish. You're not stop trying to be Europe.
Yeah.
You're not doesn't
make sense
how
at
many Uniteds do we need in a league? In America,
some damn names.
Yeah, in America we have a city,
branding.
and a team name. We have a couple of those in Major League Soccer. San Jose Earthquakes, Seattle Sounders,
Columbus Crew, right?
Columbus Crew.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we have named them the Minnesota Loons? That would
Right.
And the other thing I hate too is in Europe. We were just talking about this. I was out of practice the other day. We were just talking about this. Out in Europe, they list on the TV screen and in the paper, they list the home team first and the away team second. We don't do that in the other leagues here. It's reverse. The home team is always second.
Right.
But they on the TV broadcast for Major League Soccer, you still list the home team first. and the road team second.
And there's no logo in the middle of the field, so you have no idea where the game is.
No, it's those little things. It's those little. Listen, you don't have to be like Europe. You don't you don't. You do. There's a lot of reasons why I don't want to be like Europe. But you don't have to be like. You can be your own league and have your own identity. You don't have to change the fundamentals and the way the game is played by any means. But you can have your own style and your own way of doing things. And that's one of the reasons why I bring up the casual fan and stuff like that, because the casual sports fan knows in any sport, the home team on the TV is listed second and first. So when they see it reverse and they think, wait, Minnesota United must be on the road because they're listed first, and they're not. It's those little things. That's why I've had an issue with the league over the years. It's just these dumb little things that people, you can make it easier to appeal to the casual fan, and you go out of your way not to do it. Why?
One thing Max and I have actually talked about, I feel like the real soccer diehards, and I'm not one of them, but I feel like the real soccer No, I'm not. I'm not. I feel like the real soccer diehards actually don't want the casual fan watching.
Yeah,
I get that vibe, and I get the vibe during the World Cup. I get the vibe that the real diehards actually don't want you watching because they're like, you didn't grind these last 3 years.
You didn't wake up at 6 a.m.
You didn't wake up at 6 a.m.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, right.
And it's like I just like the national anthems.
It's the pure. There's a lot of purists in the game. There's a lot of snobbery in the game. There's no question about it from a fan's perspective, and even I would say in some cases over in Europe to an ownership perspective. But it's funny. I played the game my entire life. I've been around the game my entire life. I'm not up at 7 a.m. watching Crystal Palace or Manchester United, even though that's the best soccer in the world right now. It's out in the Champions League, Premier League, Serie A, La Liga. That's where the best soccer is being played. There's no question about it. I'm not getting up at 7 a.m. to watch it. I do love the game, but I don't have an emotional tie to these teams. Right. I mean, they're over people are over here Tottenham's my team. Oh, really? How many times have you been over to Great Britain? Show me your Tottenham tattoo. Okay. I don't have somebody from the UK over there. Oh man, I caught the Niners game. I couldn't wait to get up, stay up till midnight to watch the Niners. No, that's not happening. You don't have to like everything, and you don't have to be a phony with it either at the same time too.
Do you think that snobbery is a barrier for the casual fan in America? Is that overstating it?
I think it might be overstating it a little bit. I think you have a level of it in every sport, because I think, especially when it comes to soccer, because it's very low on people's attention spans and lists here in the States. So the people who do care about it, they're very protective of it because they're tired of hearing over the year after year. They're tired of hearing people aren't interested in soccer. People don't watch soccer.
They kind of are like hockey fans in a way that they have.
Yeah,
they kind of have a Napoleon complex.
Oh yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. And it's funny because I've spoken when I was a kid. All I heard constantly, time and time again, just wait till you're in your mid-30s and you're 40. The United States is going to overtake the world in soccer because we have so many kids in youth soccer. Yeah. It is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's still the number one youth sport in America, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that. But the fact that the United States, I'm talking about the men specifically, have not caught up to the rest of the world in terms of what I constantly heard as a child. That's an indictment on where USA Soccer is at this point in time. The women, I'm not to take any away from Team USA women. I mean, they have been a model over the years. But let's be honest, too. There's only about a handful of countries around the world that have poured in the resources to make their women's team as good and as competitive as the United States. There's only been about a half dozen. I mean, so when you have the World Cup for women, there's 32 teams, but there's really only 5, maybe 6 that have a realistic chance. Yeah. Like the United States women, what was it? A few years ago, they played Thailand, I think it was the first time. They beat them like 13-0. Yeah. Like, let's get serious here, okay? I mean, so it's, I know we probably have talked enough soccer for our audience, but that's kind of where I would be at with the fan base right now, yeah.
That was like cathartic listening to all of that. I love that. That was
passion.
That was
real,
passion right
real
there.
passion.
There's a lot of decisions that I just don't understand at the highest level, both at Team USA Soccer and at Major League Soccer.
The Apple TV thing, I'm with you. I've never understood that.
It makes zero
sense.
I understand why you want to go global. You have a couple of the superstars that came over from Europe, including Lionel Messi. I understand why you want it to be accessible around the world. But at the risk of alienating growing the league in your home country and in your home markets is suicide to me. Yeah. It really makes no sense at all.
It doesn't have any other programming like that, right? Like, I'm going on Apple TV to watch Ted Lasso. I'm not thinking about the loans.
And you can even take it a step further if you want. You can say like, hey, why not include the MLS package? If you sign up for Apple TV, you get all our great programming, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Right. Plus you get access to Major League Soccer. Or at bare minimum, you say you get the first 2 or 3 months free.
Yeah.
But it's a whole separate package.
And people are pinching pennies today, and we can't blame them. They're not going to be spending money to pay an additional fee on top of Apple TV of what they're paying for just to watch Major League Soccer. And if Major League Soccer is watching right now, I hate to tell you, your league's not good enough for that either. Your league's not good enough for that right now. It's just not. It doesn't generate enough interest, and it doesn't have enough talent for it to demand to be behind a paywall. It's just not there for me right now.
Pierre Noujaim, quote him, put that on a wall. I love that, Pierre.
I hope Major League Soccer is one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they are. Yeah, I'm sure they are.
They got nothing better to do.
We're going to be talking to 2 of y'all's faves, or one of y'all's faves, Nattie Neidhart? Neidhart, yes, Nattie Neidhart.
Natalya, yes.
Natalya, one of the stalwarts of professional wrestling.
Absolutely,
right?
A pillar in the WWE women's division, an iconic wrestler in the ring and outside of the ring because of stuff like Total Divas.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can't wait. She was in studio couple of years ago, and she was an absolute pleasure to have. She put me in a headlock.
Oh.
It was fantastic. She's wrestling royalty around here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Natalya coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Pierre, Maxx, it's one of your favorite wrestlers of all time, Natalya Neidhart here.
We're clapping.
Absolutely.
It's a big time clap.
Royalty.
Huge
Royalty.
wrestling royalty joining us here on
All
the
around.
afternoon
If
shift. There
Canada
she
had a
is.
royal family, she would be a part of it. Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Natalya. Oh my gosh, she's joining us. We're so honored to have her.
Thank you guys for having me.
That's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Welcome to the afternoon shift, Natalya. I admit, Maxx, Pierre, both huge fans. I don't know much about wrestling. Maybe you could describe your career for the non-wrestling fans out there, people that are just meeting you for the first time.
Well, I am a WWE superstar. I've been in WWE now for 19 years in January. So I've been in the company for a long time. Of course, I come from a family of WWE superstars, big wrestling family. My grandfather, my uncles, my dad, and of course, I'm the first woman in my family to do this. So very cool history. But it makes for a great book.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely, and we're excited to get our hands on a copy. What made now a time for you to tell your story in a memoir form?
I think the biggest thing for me was just that I really wanted to take on like fresh challenges that I wanted to do. I was getting in a place in my life where I was like, okay, I'm about to sign a new contract with WWE, and this is last year when I started writing the book, and I was like, I just want to take on some fresh challenges, things that are going to challenge me, stimulate me. Things that I didn't feel like I always had the courage to do. If you're going to put your life story out there, it does take a level of bravery to do that and to be able to like go, okay, I'm gonna address the good, the bad, the everything in between, but like really tell a great story. So it's sometimes with a task like that, it can feel very daunting because in my family, of course, there's so much meat on the bone. I have such a big family and they're very legendary. So I felt like it was a big task, but it was something that I was ready to do and excited to do.
Yeah, Natalya, when somebody writes a book like this, especially about your own life, and you go through these memories and put it down on paper, what are the emotions that kind of come up for you? Was there anything that kind of caught you by surprise as you're writing this, and some of the things that you might have been nervous to share with the audience or not? Just kind of walk us through what that experience was like for you.
I mean, there were several chapters that were like some chapters will make you laugh. The book has so much range. There's a love story. There's chapters that will make you laugh. There's chapters that will make you cry. I've had a lot of people sending me messages like DMs and texting me and like, like strong people saying like this chapter really made me cry. Like I had to stop what I was doing after and like just like sit and think about what I read and like I love that people are feeling everything. It'll make you feel everything. And I think the biggest thing with the book is it'll make you heal. But yeah, there were some tough chapters, especially when I addressed my relationship with my dad, and I dedicate the book to my dad. But of course, my dad and I had a very complicated relationship because, he wasn't perfect. I'm not perfect. And there were moments when I was writing specifically about my dad that I was like, I really want to make sure that I do this story justice, but I also need to be very authentic and true to myself. So I think there's going to be so much that people are going to relate to, though, in it. I mean, sometimes you got to do the stuff that scares you.
No doubt about it. Yeah,
absolutely. And we've been lucky enough as the viewer, as the fan, to kind of have an inside look on your career for most of your career. I mean, obviously you were on all 9 seasons of Total Divas. Kind of what was your creative approach going into this book compared to like doing something like TV, like Total Divas?
I mean, the cool thing is that I didn't have to paint inside any lines. Like I didn't have to normally in my career in WWE or when I was doing Total Divas, a lot of the times we have a direction or we have like a script that we have to follow, or this is a direction of the storyline, or this was my first real my first real attempt at my own creation. This is my story. This is how I want to tell it. This is the way that I want to write it. This is how I saw it. And I even put that in the very beginning of the book. I was like, everybody else may have their own perspective of how they saw something go down, but this is just the way that I felt it went down. This is how I remember it. And it was cool to be able to take the reins. Like it really made me go, wow, I really love storytelling. And I think that it's a big thing in WWE. It's the basis of what we do in WWE. The stuff that you guys tune in to see on our programming that you fall in love with, the characters, you see them in these great stories that make you want to turn the page and get to the next chapter. So I always kept that in mind when I was writing the book, that like I want people to be excited about getting to the next chapter where they can't put the book down. And that's a big thing that I'm getting, is that people are reading the book very fast because it's a very easy read, but you want to get to the next chapter.
So, Natty, tell us, you're having a book signing at Mall of America. Is that correct? When is that? And when can the fans come get a chance to meet you?
I am doing a book signing tomorrow at Mall of America.
Okay.
What is the date of that? It's the 30th?
30th.
Sorry, guys.
Day before Halloween.
29.
Or 29.
29.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
Correction,
No,
guys.
correction.
I'm running on about 2 hours of sleep.
Don't
So
worry.
it's October 29th. And it's at 4 p.m. And I just want to get all the particulars right. But it's at Mall of America. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see everyone. People are asking me, like, can they bring stuff for me to sign? And here's my thing. If you show up and you want me to sign a few things, I'm happy to do it. Sharpshooters are, I got to make sure you have a great chiropractor before I put you in sharpshooter.
Yeah.
So, but we can take pictures and you guys can ask me questions and I can sign your items. And I'm really excited about personalizing my book for you guys. And just, if you want me to write a message or you want to give the book to someone that you care about or just personalize it, I'm excited to do that. So Mall of America, October 29th, 4 p.m. I'll be coming straight from Los Angeles. But I'm just so excited about it. Like it's one of the big stops on our tour, so we are amped up. And you guys have to tell me where the Louis Vuitton is in the mall.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, there's no
I'm sure
problem.
Pierre knows. I wouldn't know.
Well,
I wouldn't know.
I do want to warn the fans that are going to be showing up. Natty was here about 2.5 years ago. I had the pleasure of interviewing her here in studio. She did put me in an arm bar at the end of the interview, and I have the photo evidence to prove it. So I just want to tell the fans, approach with caution. The arm bar is no joke from Natty. It is no joke whatsoever.
I do remember that, and you told me you had a great chiropractor, so we're all good.
The insurance I have is terrific, so I wasn't, and it came through for me in spades that day. There's no question about it.
As Pierre can attest to, the armbar game is still strong. The sharpshooter game is still strong. But we're seeing some of your contemporaries like John Cena, like AJ Styles, contemplating retirement, heading towards the end of their careers. Kind of is that on your mind at all as you've been going in WWE for two decades now, nearly?
To be brutally honest, it's never on my mind. I'm just like the way I look at WWE and wrestling and the business in general, it's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave it. And I saw AJ Styles yesterday at Monday Night Raw. I was backstage and I saw him because I loved his match against John Cena at Crown Jewel. And I said to AJ, I'm like, you're never allowed to leave here. I'm like, you are so good. You and John are so good. Both of you, I'm demanding you guys stay. But that's the thing is that, like, once you're in the family and once you're in our family and it's a huge community in WWE, like we're global. We've taken over the world. You're always a part of the family. So there's just so many cool things that they're going to jump into, cool opportunities. But like, I don't feel like anybody's ever going to leave it, and I'm certainly not thinking about leaving it. I just wrestled on Saturday in Mexico and beat up a bunch of girls. And
you did. Yeah, you did.
It was extremely fulfilling. And you can thank my dad, who you'll read about lots in the book, for the genetics that he gave me, because this girl's unbreakable.
No doubt about it. No doubt.
Natalya, I know you're from Calgary. Your whole family is from Canada. You said you're coming to Minnesota from Los Angeles. I'm curious, are you in LA right now? And if so, are you going to be cheering on your fellow countrymen, the Toronto Blue Jays, tonight at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah, I'd love to know the answer to this, actually.
I am a Blue Jays girl.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. So he's wearing the wrong
he's got the
jersey.
Dodgers. I'm snitching. That says Los Dodgers right there. I'm snitching.
We can take this outside, though.
Listen, I already played this game with her. You're gonna Adam, it's all you.
Are you going to the game tonight?
No.
No, I'm actually doing a signing. I'm doing a signing tonight. It's the first stop of my tour, so I'm doing a signing tonight in Los Angeles at the Grove, and we're so excited. I think it might be sold out. So a couple people are trying to get tickets. They're asking me if I have connections. I'm like, let me ask the girl who wrote the book. Let me see if she can help.
Go walk around a farmer's market right next door, and the Fountain Bar at the Grove is a favorite of mine. It's a great place.
Oh, I need to check it out.
Yes.
I mean, listen, the shopping in LA has been this. That's why I'm scared about Mall of America, because I'm like, I'm gonna go for the signing, but like, if I walk past the store that I like, this girl is like, I just love buying stuff that I don't need.
You'll see some stuff. You'll see some stuff at MOA.
Absolutely. Don't forget to ride a roller coaster too.
Yeah,
there's a whole
absolutely.
amusement park in there.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see everybody at Mall of America. But yes, it's the shopping, it's the people. I can't wait for everybody to come with the book and like for us to just talk about it. That's one of the things about me with my signings is that I'm super personable to the point where like the people that are helping run these events, they're like, Nattie, we got to get going. Like, I know you want to like read an essay to the person in line, but I think that's the thing is I love my fans. A lot of my friends, and I call them my friends because I end up building relationships with these people. We, especially through social media where like, if I like something or I share something, they repost it. They've had my back for all these years. A lot of my followers have been with me since the first, year of my career in 2008 when I debuted on SmackDown in WWE. So they've been with me, like they're ride or die. So our WWE fans are very ride or die. They're like the Blue Jays fans.
Max and I would know all about that, wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
100%. We know all about it. All about it.
We're riding, we're dying, all of that. Nattie, you mentioned just a second ago that you were in Mexico beating a couple ladies up over the weekend. And we've kind of just seen throughout this year, the last year really, that you've kind of like, it seems like you've reignited yourself creatively with Nattie appearing in all these different indie promotions. Kind of what was the inspiration behind that, and has it kind of been a resurgence for you creatively?
I mean, it's been a huge creative outlet for me to do something extraordinary in WWE, which is, it's unheard of for somebody that is working for WWE to go outside of WWE and build a new character. But it was something, when I talk about taking risks and taking on things that are challenging, it was one of those things where I was like, I really want to do this because this new character that I've been building outside of WWE from the work I've been doing in Bloodsport, NWA, Reality of Wrestling, to name a few, and AAA, it's what I've always wanted to do, and it's been so cool to have WWE's blessing. They've been so supportive of me wanting to build this new character. I think when I think about the new character, I think Mick Foley, Cactus Jack.
Oh yeah.
It was like Mick Foley was Mick Foley in WWE, but outside of WWE, he was Cactus Jack. And so I love using that comparison because Mick is a huge inspiration to me, but like I loved what he was doing as Cactus Jack on the indies, especially in Japan.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I mean, listen, Nattie, I do sports for us here at Fox in Minneapolis. I'm supposed to be objective with every team that I cover. When it comes to the WWE superstars, there's no objectivity here.
Nope.
We love it when you guys come on. I'm super thrilled to have a chance to speak to you again, and we can't wait to see you at the book signing tomorrow. I think Max and I might make our way out there tomorrow.
Absolutely. What is like the time of the book signing, where you're going to be at, and all that stuff?
Well, it's going to be at 4 p.m. and then I'm going to be. Listen, if you guys come, just know that I could be putting on wrestling holds on both.
Listen, Nattie, my insurance is good. I don't know if I get twice the same injury.
I got to call my chiropractor. Yeah. I got to call the doctor first.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, come by the signing. I'd love to see you guys. 4 p.m. All the details for my book signing, though, you can find all the specific details at lastheartbeatingbook.com.
Perfect.
So there's all the details. There's the scoop in there, and you can see all of that there. But I would love to see you guys, and I can't wait for you guys to read the book.
I can't wait. Can't wait to get my hands on it.
Absolutely cannot wait. Thank you, Nattie. You're a legend.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
We appreciate the time. We'll see you tomorrow.
That was awesome. I mean, that's awesome. We have wrestling royalty coming to Minneapolis.
Absolutely.
Oh, super
I mean, just Canadian royalty.
She's the
best.
best.
Royalty, yes.
Yeah. Forget Justin Trudeau.
Yes.
It's all about Nattie.
Yeah.
Forget that guy.
She's the best.
Yes.
And her family, like I said, the Hart family, legends in the business. Absolute legends.
You cannot tell the story of professional wrestling across the world without talking about the Hart family.
I'm going to go back to
Nattie.
I got to go back to Munch.
Pierre, thank you for joining us for a couple
guys,
of
it's been a blast.
Yeah,
it's been a blast. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We're going to have fun. Max and I, coming up next, we're going to visit a haunted house in the beautiful city of Painesville, Minnesota. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Max, are you a big haunted house guy?
You know, I haven't gone to one in a while. My apartment building, depending on what time of day you're going into my apartment buildings, because pretty much a haunted house functions the similar way to a haunted house. But I do love me a good haunted house.
Yeah.
You know, they can be really spooky. You like to think you're tough.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I'm good, but they can get you. They can get you. You ever been in one?
I've never been to a haunted house
been to
before.
a haunted house.
I know they're big in Minnesota.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah,
we love them.
Yeah,
we absolutely love them.
Yeah, one of the biggest ones in Minnesota is called Haunt for the Cure. It's in Painesville, and the co-creator of that haunted house is Chelsea Hartman, and she joins us now. Chelsea, what's going on?
Oh, hi guys. So happy to be.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful haunted house you got there. Can you show us around? Can you tell us more about what you got going on?
So we're currently in the butcher scene, and I don't like to give too many of our details away, but we have some characters here. We have many animated props that you'll see as you come through our haunt. You can see Art the Clown behind me. He's kind of a big one. We got Mr. Chainsaw. Where is he? There he is.
Oh, hey.
So I got many characters here with me today.
Awesome.
How long does something like this take you guys? Like, how long in advance are you guys preparing all of this stuff that you do every year?
So we really start talking about this at the beginning of the year, but we really start to prep and buy and, decide our scenes more June, July. We start kind of building after my twins' big birthday party we have in August. So we do that. Then September is a clear slate and we just start building. And it takes a lot. So it's many hours, many sleepless nights. My fiance works full time. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I homeschool our kids. So they're very involved in this. They know what it takes to build and pick up a drill and help us screw pallets together, because this haunt this year has taken over 100 pallets.
Wow.
Just to create the maze and create, many of the little scenes that you're going to walk through as you go.
Chelsea, you bring up family. I know family is everything for you. In this haunted house, it's called Haunt for the Cure. There's a very good cause behind it that goes back to your family. Can you tell us more about that cause?
So we kind of do a pop-up haunt, we call it, every year, and we rename it. So this year, it is the Haunt for the Cure to End Alzheimer's. So that is first and foremost. But this year, the name of the haunt is the Final Freak Show, because we are actually looking to grow our haunt. We have outgrown this area. We're in town on the corner of Spruce and Stearns. It's just, we bring so many things inside that kind of interfere with ordinance and things like this. We're just really pushing it to the max here as much as we can. So our goal now is to find land. We want at least 10 acres. We want a forever haunt. So we want to bring this thing to the next level. We want to include and bring in more clientele, more people that see our vision and get what we give them. I mean, we're so excited to bring this to everybody, because we really do. We go visit other haunts such as Screamtown, Dead End Hayride. We look at all the things that they do, and we really do try to bring that to our audience here. So, but we're smaller now, and we just want to grow and give more to Alzheimer's. So the whole point of this is to end that terrible disease, because my grandpa actually had it, and it actually is formed around his 8-ball race car, and that's kind of where this came into play. Is we had his 8-ball out on the corner of Spruce and Stearns, because he went into the nursing home, and it was 10 years of a long, slow goodbye, and memories matter. I just got to tell you guys this, because as my grandpa was losing who he was, he forgot who I was, he forgot who he was, he forgot other family. I would pick him up at the manor, and we would go for a ride. He didn't know me, but we would round the corner to our yard on the corner of Spruce and Stearns, and he would see his 8-ball, and he would say, "There she is." And another race would race his mind. So we have the Race for the Cure to End Alzheimer's, and this haunt is just a portion of what we try to put on to raise money to end Alzheimer's.
Wow, that's thank you for sharing that story with us. I'm sorry to hear that about your grandfather, but obviously you guys are doing a lot of good stuff there with the Haunt for the Cure, so we really appreciate it. I'm just curious, how do you get the inspiration to do different stuff every year? Are you just watching a bunch of horror movies, serial killer documentaries? How are you getting the inspiration?
I don't know. I guess I go to bed when I finally get there. And I just have these dreams, or I just see things. I'm like, this is going to be really cool. This year we actually have a really cool room. You pay $5 And though the haunt will be free on Friday, we really hope people donate. But we do have a couple things we're going to charge for, and that is the dunk tank where you can dunk. Beetlejuice is going to be in the dunk tank. And then we have a room that actually has a pneumatic, which is something very, it's the first time Zach has done this. So it's something that triggers, and they are going to have a surprise if they go in that room. So we just try to push things, and just, like I say, we see visions and we just plan for it. And then, like you can see, the decorating just kind of comes with it. So we got a snow cone machine here with some, it's hard to do this, it's just my kids too, they're involved. So like my son, actually right here, we have Georgie. My son painted this, he's 10. And then he came up with all the sounds for Georgie, because we put it actually out on the road. There's a light coming out of the gutter. And we placed Georgie there with Pennywise. So that's another secret. But our kids are very involved, and it's creative for them too. So they really enjoy doing this. So yes, it just kind of comes, I guess,
I love that it's all about the family with you there, Chelsea. What made you really want to get into haunted houses in the first place? I mean, it's such a kind of a niche thing, and it only is really around Halloween. Like why haunted houses? Did you enjoy these as a child yourself?
Yeah, so my mom let me rent horror movies when I was in like 3rd grade. I think my first horror movie was Children of the Corn, and it did. I mean, I had, scary dreams and all that, but I just loved it as a kid. And then the classic It is just, I just remember girls coming over, girlfriends, and we would get in the camp. We would have a camp out, and we'd put on It. And then we'd have to watch The Little Engine That Could after to try to get, I think I can, because we'd be scared. So I don't know. There's a level of being scared that's just, it's kind of fun. And I guess I've just kind of grown to just have a love for it. It's truly a love. So.
For sure. You guys, I mean, it has to be a love, right? Because you guys are putting in countless hours of work. In between all those countless hours of work, do you have time to, have your own costume? What are you going to be for Halloween this year?
Well, I have many costumes, but I guess I'll probably be out front, like really trying to direct everybody, because I just got to make sure our actors have everything, because honestly, the night of Friday night, just around our town, and we're a small town, but we're really hoping to bring more, but we get about 300 people that come through. They venture through just over and over. So I just try to, like with our maze this year, people are probably going to get a little stuck in this maze. So I have to kind of just, keep people in order, make them stop and wait. And just, so I'll be out front. I'll be dealing with all the people.
Chelsea, you mentioned actors. There's people that are going to be inside this haunted house? Like how does that work? I thought these were all just like kind of mannequins, but are there people actually wearing those costumes?
Yeah. So, these go in our scenes, like I call them my electronic actors, but we have real actors. So people that volunteer their time. We've had a lot of the same comeback actors. Even my 73-year-old mother finds her way in here somewhere. So she puts herself somewhere.
Wow.
Like our kids, to be honest with you, our kids started, and I think about it now because they're 8 and 10, but they started at like 4 and 5. So, and we used to have one down by my dad's river. So like I said, we kind of popped up and we would do different locations. But anyway, my kids were so tiny that we would have grown men come out and say, it's those little ones that just scare us the most. Because they were like 3-foot clowns chasing people. So it's kind of funny. I watched a grown man literally almost jump in his like girlfriend or wife's like arms because my little 4-year-old son ran out at him in a jester little costume. And you got to realize like this is darkness. Like I would give each of my kids like 1 year, one had the clown room, one had our Jason room, and one, so they're out there alone. So I think about like, to me, our kids are so desensitized. It's just second nature for them to act and haunt. And they just like, now they are just chomping at the bit for Friday. They cannot wait.
That's awesome.
And their friends to come through and their friends try to guess who is who. And so it's a good time. It really is.
It sounds like a good time. And kind of just like jumping off of that, what are some of the funniest like reactions that you've seen, the best reactions that you've seen from people going through your haunted house?
One of them was my little Zane. He's just a tiny little guy, and he has his Jason mask on. Well, here's one. Can you see it? Yeah. Yep. So we were out at a bigger haunt. So it was the back 40 of a bar actually this year. They were awesome and kind enough to let us, set up there. But he's like, Mom, I'm just not scary. I'm just not scaring people. And I said, oh, Zane, I said, you'll get there. It'll be fine. You got to keep trying, because he's this little Jason, like coming running out under people's feet. But anyway, it's kind of, she lived, it was good. But this girl came around, her group of friends, and she looked at him and she jumped so high. Like I have it on recording. So but her reaction was to dart across like our scene, and we have ropes going across, and she hit the rope, she hit the tent, she hit everything. Just, you heard the big crash, and I was like, oh my God, is she okay? So here's my little Zane looking over this girl, and she was fine and she's good. But I said, see, Zane, you scared the bejesus out of that girl. It did. It boosts his ego, and not gonna lie, I mean, we feed off screams and we feed off people that are scared. But I will say, our haunt is for all ages, and we do, like, if we see a little one not taken too well to it, my kids will pull their mask up and show it that we're just having fun here. We're not here to hurt. We just want everyone to truly enjoy what we have and have a great time.
I love it. Chelsea, how can people have a great time this week? Is it just Friday, or is it all week? What are the logistics?
Well, so we did run it last weekend, but it will be just Friday. So trick or treat, Halloween night, we always say, see you down. We start at 7. We always tell everybody, make our house the last stop, because we don't like people going through in the daylight. It just isn't the same. So we really want you to make us your last stop. We say, make us your final. It's our final hurrah here on the corner of Spruce and Stearns. So I really want people to know, like, we want to thank everybody for all the years. It's been about 10 years of this, and we've adopted the Haunt for the Cure in the last 3 years. So we just want everybody to show up with their costumes on and have a great time. They can run through it as many times as they want, but we really hope that you see the hours, that you see the time, because I don't even have a count on hours. It's countless hours of designing, decorating. Zach, my fiance, he builds everything from the ground up, and he custom makes every sound. So every sound you hear is not just something we found. It's something that he actually puts together. Every scream, every little, sound bit that you hear is from our heart. So everything in this is all creation. So we hope you donate. We hope you know that our goal is small this year, but to us it's pretty big, because around our area it's tough. But we want to raise $1,000 to give to Alzheimer's, and we're hoping in years coming we can give $50,000. That's the goal here, but it has to start somewhere. And like I said, memories matter. We are here to make great memories. We want this to go on and on until I can't walk anymore. So, and even then I said to my kids, put me in a wheelchair and a seat and you guys do all the work. This is going to keep on keeping on. And we just need the support from people and outside people. And just, we really hope that our vision can go to the next level, like I said, and just we keep giving back to the community and to the people that support us, love us, know the story of my grandpa. Because, I mean, it just does. It stems from a lot of that. And, we do also take the 8-ball car, which will be front and center. I hope everyone takes a picture with 8-ball and posts it on social media and quote, there she is, because that's what he used to say. His eyes would light up. There she is. So we say, there she is. Christmas time, we decorate too. We have a huge display. So we just keep going with the creation of this. And we want to bring joy and cheer. And this time it's the Halloween spirit, but we also do the Christmas spirit too. But we just like to keep the spirit alive. So ultimately, keep the love.
I love it.
We appreciate you, Chelsea. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody go visit Haunt for the Cure in Painesville. Beautiful Painesville, Minnesota.
Hell yeah.
And go see Chelsea Hartman there. Thank you, Chelsea. We appreciate that. That might be worth the drive up there. That sounds cool.
So.
Yeah,
that should be, maybe that could be your first haunted house,
maybe
dog.
that could be my first haunted house. It seems like it's really from the heart what she's got going on there.
Absolutely. No better choice.
Yeah, and everything hand built and everything. It's very impressive.
Very intricate.
Impressive.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
It is. Go visit that haunted house, everybody. Haunt for the Cure in Painesville. More to come from the afternoon shift after this. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. Only a few more minutes here, Max.
Absolutely. As usual, we've covered everything from Melissa to MLS.
Yes, Melissa to MLS. Speaking of Melissa, we want to roll in some more photos and pictures that we have of Hurricane Melissa. There you see it right now, making landfall in the Caribbean, and our hearts and our thoughts go out to everybody that's going to be impacted. And I don't, like we said earlier, I don't know where the people go. It's kind of a little scary.
It's a really scary situation, and I know there's all these different articles about the housing costs and all those different costs, and of course that's obviously important. But the human cost on this is immeasurable, and it's going to be for decades and decades to come. Like Ian was saying earlier, Hurricane Melissa is the strongest Atlantic hurricane in history. In history. I mean, this is just unbelievable stuff, and it's not stopping at Jamaica. Unfortunately, it's barreling towards Cuba right now, and obviously, like Ian said, going to hit some places in the Bahamas as well. Like I think 70 mile, 70 mile wide storm. So it's just a Category 5. I just cannot believe how scary it must be living in those areas right now.
No doubt, and it's not planning to hit the United States, which shouldn't take away. Like these are real lives and real people that are being affected down there, and obviously, thankfully, it's not going to touch our shores, but it is going to touch other people's shores, and we need to get people, especially people that are these countries are much more under resourced than ours is.
Absolutely.
Got to get them the help that they need.
And hopefully the United States and the people of the United States, people of the world, can come together and help these people out, because they're obviously going to need a lot of help for a long time to come. Like Ian was saying, that rebuilding process is long. It's not just donations; it's people on the ground. So it's going to take years and years and years. But let's hope that we can gather enough people from around the globe to get it done.
Yeah, well said. And we'll have more on Hurricane Melissa, an update on that tomorrow. In the meantime, tomorrow, right here on Fox, in about 2 hours from now, actually in about an hour from now, you can watch a World Series Game 4 preview live from Dodger Stadium. The Fox crew, A-Rod, co-owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves, he's out there. Derek Jeter, Big Papi, David Ortiz, Kevin Burkhardt.
Underrated sports panel show, by the way.
Legends.
Listen, I love Inside the NBA. I don't even. What is it on ESPN now these days? Yeah. Like, that's great. That's probably the greatest sports panel show that there's ever been.
Yeah.
The Fox one?
They do a great job.
Underrated.
They do a great job.
And they are the signature one for the MLB. That's kind of my thing with the NFL, not just going on a random side tangent, but the NFL doesn't have a signature panel show. They have a bunch of panel shows that are a little cum-si, cum-sa, but MLB has a signature show, and we're lucky enough to have it right here on Fox.
Yes, those are our coworkers and colleagues. They're in the Outlook.
Right.
They're in Outlook.
I'm coworkers with Big Papi and A-Rod. I've made it in life.
That's right. And they were toughing it out last night. They had a post-game show last night, too. Max, let's get a score prediction for you. We can recalibrate tomorrow on this.
This is going to be impossible. I'm going to say the Dodgers get after it tonight. I'm going to say 7-3. Wow. I'm saying 7-3. I'm saying the Dodgers get after it tonight. It's Bieber going for the Blue Jays, right?
Not Justin.
Not Justin Bieber. Yes. He was at the game yesterday,
last night,
and no relation. Shane Bieber. Yes. And listen, I know Shane Bieber. He used to be the man. Obviously, AL Central fans are well familiar with Shane Bieber. How's he been doing so far this season? Do you feel any? It's just a little right? He doesn't have the same stuff that he used to have.
Yeah, right? Not all Game 4 starters are created equal. It's Ohtani versus Shane.
Greatest baseball player of all time versus Bieber. But
I like 7-3. I'll go 3-1 Dodgers. So
a little bit more conservative. A little bit more conservative. But either way, we both got the Dodgers winning. Either way, the 5 o'clock news is coming up next. In the meantime, I'm Max Fuller.
Adam Llorens.
We'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.
This is Fox 9 News at 5.
Thanks so much for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Simone Woolridge.
And I'm Kelsey Carlson. Several developing stories tonight. Hurricane Melissa, number 1, making landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm, the strongest to hit the island in recorded history. Ian is tracking the storm, and we'll have a live report from the island coming up later in this hour.